Okay guys, welcome to my first Assetto Corsa video. I'm going to go through a quick little video going through some of the handling and quick basic rundown of what I think of the game so far. So I thought I'd go with a track that I know very well from Project Cars. I'm not going to be comparing them too much, although I'm going to throw some comparisons in. I'm going to start with the Audi R8 LMS Ultra GT3 car at Monza. First thing you're going to notice when playing this game is, for me, the handling feels a little bit more realistic, but it's still got plenty of grip in the game. The grip levels still feel high, which I really like. One thing that I'm quite happy with is the downshifting. Is you can't be as aggressive as Project Cars. I mean, I did abuse the downshifting, but it was faster, so you had to be done. In Assetto Corsa, you can't do it. It won't let you downshift like crazy. As you can see on the video, it's much more realistic. It still handles really nicely. Visuals, maybe not quite as good as Project Cars, but they're definitely there, and I'm really happy with it. Really happy with how it looks. The camera view I've been using so far is the one that's shown there. You don't see the steering wheel; it's just basically the dash, and it's perfect if you've got a steering wheel. Handling again, I really like the feeling you get when downshifting. That the back's just coming a little uneasy and you have to be braking. I think some corners I felt like I could brake later than on Project Cars, and some corners I felt like I could brake a little bit, had to brake a little bit sooner. But overall, it feels really nice with this GT3 car. It's going to be a class that people are going to probably drive a lot. Hopefully it's really well balanced. On this lap, all I changed was the downforce. Just put it to the lowest downforce you could do. I didn't change any suspension, nothing. And it was basically my first go on the game. I think I'd done 5 minutes before, just to warm up and get used to it, getting the feedback how I wanted to get the force feedback. I like quite a low force feedback, so it was just basic. And then I moved on to a different car, went to a road car now, just to try and get a feeling of what the road cars handle like compared to games like Project Cars. And the first thing that hits me is they've nailed the road cars much better than Project Cars. Project Cars does racing cars amazing, but I think the road cars suffer a bit with a little bit of a lack of grip and the drivability of the cars. But these cars in Assetto Corsa definitely feel like you can swing the back end out, really put the power down, and it's controllable. I had no traction control on here. I had ABS set to factory, so I'm guessing that'll be on. But even when the back sticks out, you can really control it, as you've seen there in the top right clip on the video. The car, it moved about a bit, but I got the power down and controlled it with a bit of opposite locker. Same there on the exit, just dancing the rear perfectly. And I really enjoyed this car, I have to say. These are the first 3 cars I tried in the game. So this was basically a couple of minutes. I did like a warm-up lap and then went out and tried to do an okay lap with it. This was totally default setup as well. There was no changes to the setup on this lap. So obviously, again, there's going to be a lot of adjustments you can make. You can't do as much as Project Cars. It's not as in-depth in terms of setup, but I'm going to do a separate video on all that, going through all stuff like that another time. This is all about how it feels and how it plays. For me, it feels really nice. You can see there again in the video, you can just see the back end squirming around. It feels really nice when you catch it. It did take a bit. I mean, the warm-up lap I did lose it and spun out, but it didn't take long to get the feel for it. Obviously, going from Project Cars and straight to this, it's a bit different. Although I think everything you've learned from Project Cars in terms of braking distance should basically carry straight over to this game. If everything was basically where I thought it should be, me braking, you see, it didn't take me long to get into the braking zones. So what I thought I'd do, I tried a race car, a road car, so I thought I'd try open wheel car, and it's a GP3 car. I did think when I first clicked on it, I thought it was like a Formula Renault type car, but I was wrong. It's actually a GP3 car, so there wasn't much power in it, but I'm glad I did choose this car because it really handled well. And one thing I really like with Assetto Corsa is the views seem pre-done perfectly. Everything seems perfect with the views. I didn't have to tinker and mess around with them. I went to the view I use on the F1 games, just above the helmet, and it felt perfect. It really gave me, I think they've done, I mean, this car for an open wheel car actually felt probably better than a lot of games that just do open wheel. It felt so nice to drive and fun. I can see this being a great car for the public lobbies if people go in. I mean, it might take a bit of damage, so that'll be one thing to see how it reacts with damage and that. I haven't really gone into detail on damage yet. This is just about the handling in this video. and I really think the handling's nailed. Probably in terms of physics and handling, it's the best I've come across so far. Remember, I've only raced on consoles, I've not been on PC, but for me the physics are pretty much perfect. I really felt like I could push the car, but then if I pushed too hard on the curb, that was it. It was game. You were spinning into the barrier. I mean, this was basically my first. I think this was my second lap in this car, and I did 2 laps just to see what I could gain. As you can see, like, this is basically my first proper run, and then on my second lap, I go out and try and beat it. And you can see I make improvements just after 1 lap of feeling where I can put the power down a lot earlier, where there's more grip. It really does give good feedback as well through the wheel. The feedback was very strong on my T500. I know the T500 is known to be obviously have very strong feedback, so I did lower the settings quite a lot, and I don't think a lot of people wouldn't like how I drive, but I don't like stupidly feedback on the wheel where it bouncing and shaking your hands, and like, especially if you're doing long races, it would just kill my hands. So I've got it now to how I pretty much like it, and it's not too distant from how Project Cars feels for me on how I have that set up. But what I would say is there's a nice feeling from the road, from the feedback. You can really feel the tyres when the back end's going, and you can catch it so much quicker than I think you can with a lot of other games, because you know it's going to happen. You'll see on this corner here, I was having an issue on this corner where I think it's just the type of corner it is. When you come to this left hand there, you put the power on too early, the back end kicks out, but you could catch it because it's instinctive. You can feel it. It happened on the next lap as well, I think. But again, I caught it really well. You see now, so we set a benchmark, just a 226.50 GP3 car. That's by no means a fast lap. You've got to remember, guys, this is total default setup. No changes to setup, no tinkering. It's just me on my first ever go. It's probably a few seconds that can come off of this default lap, quite a few seconds. As you can see on this lap, I took quite a bit off of it just on this lap. What you'll see there though is that on the turn 1, I took a bit of a late apex and missed it and went over the curb and lost a bit of power. And you can see the delta slowly going to a negative there now. See, I'm behind on my previous lap, but I gain a lot on this corner now where I have a lot more knowledge of what the car will do. You can see I go down into 5th gear, carry 5th, then down into 4th. You can see how much I gain. It's half a second straight away there, just through that little corner. And I'm nearly 7/10 up coming out of the corner there. So my impressions of the handling are pretty much perfect. I don't think there's much you could change in terms of handling. I'm going to move on to other stuff. In my next video, I'm going to give you guys a quick little look at the menus and what options we've got and what there is to tinker with. I'm hoping there'll be some stuff added in the future, but I'm going to go through reviews on my next video what that is. So make sure you subscribe, as hopefully that video will be out today as well. And then after that, hopefully if I've got time, I'll have a little career mode, just the first 5 races from the career and the novice mode, which were really fun, really enjoyed, and I look forward to you guys watching that. I'll leave you with the rest of this lap, as you can see where I gained nearly 2 seconds. I hope you've enjoyed this very brief little test drive of this game. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember to subscribe. See you soon.